About to get it in with a good video review of what's going on in the world, guys. It's a lot going on, in case you guys aren't aware. It's a lot going on in the relationship world. A lot of people are um just in conflict, chaos. I would like to, do some videos on it and let's see could we get to the bottom of it. You know? I want to hear you guys take on it. I want to know what you guys think, what you guys feel about it. And we can go from there. See, sure that everything's correct before we get going. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna give the algorithm a few minutes to heat on up. Yep, yep, yep. Let's go here. Yeah, man. So it's a lot going on in the relationship world. A lot going on, guys. Get through this. And we're going to do mm, do this. Tune on in if you're here, guys. Tune on in if you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's go ahead on and get the show on the road. So this is the first video
Me
which
with
we
the
have
race
going on today,
loyalty
y'all.
bullshit.
This is the first video we have going on. Let's see what's going on.
Miss me with the race loyalty bullshit. Nobody in this world has hurt me more than a black woman.
Huh?
From the day I came out the womb, you ain't gonna be shit like your damn daddy.
Wow.
The mother of our children, the mother of my children, keeping me away from my child, parentally alienating me. Even the women in my family that share the same blood. Even the ones that say I'm not a Caucasian, that don't even look like a Caucasian. They look like they adopted with them fat, pudgy ass noses. Anyway, these are the same people that supported the woman from keeping me away from the child. Black woman. Women that I've dated, making me out to be a monster, saying that I'm just domestically being violent to them when it's really them starting the fights, pulling out knives and some more shit. Being accused by strangers, black women, of being a child molester just because they don't like who I was or who I am or how vocal I am, whatever my personality is. It's always black women behind some bullshit, man. So I can't be advocating to be loyal to them.
Well, here's the thing, right? I think it's more so of the women in which you have been dealing with. We can't include the whole diaspora of black women and condemn all black women for your own and anecdotal experience. Um, I do feel and understand your grievances and your experience and what you went through, but sheesh, man, this brother has been scorned, and a lot of men have been scorned. He's definitely he's definitely been through it. He's definitely he's definitely been through it. So let's move on to the next video because this video right here is the video in which a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's AI, it's AI." It is not AI, guys. This young lady
Mm.
is not
So they
AI,
spoke up,
okay?
some of them.
This young lady is not AI. A lot of people have been saying this woman right here is AI, so I decided to upload the whole video. I decided to let you guys check out the entire video of what this young lady is saying in its entirety. And what she's going to say is going to be very controversial. It's going to be very shocking, right? But guys, I ask you to listen to it with an open mind. Okay, woosah. All right, because what she's going to say is, whew, it's a lot to digest.
And they had questions and complaints. They say the black man does not love us, he does not respect us, give us something to submit to. Mm. Let's talk about it. By all means, I am a black woman, so hear me when I say this. The unaware, naive, lost black woman is the new slave owner. And just like the white slave owner, she will pick out the smartest, hardworking, capable man for her to reap the benefits of. What can you do for me? Mhm. And there's nothing wrong with that unless you're using it for the wrong reasons. Just like the white man. Once she has sucked you dry, or once you become aware of what she's really doing to you, how she's putting you down, how she was taking from you but not putting in, and then you begin to argue and fight for yourself, then she becomes unappreciative. She becomes more disloyal. She will talk you down, walk on you, spit on you, and tell you that you are replaceable and go to the next candidate. But these are people that we are talking about. These are our men we are talking about.
Now, here's the thing, though. Um, I think that the average woman, have that mindset of, you know, there's always another guy who would treat me better than you. Um, and I think that's a universal mindset. I don't think that that is more so just one race of women. But let's carry on.
Yeah, that part. So then let's take from that woman as well. That same woman is also the same thing that a black man does not trust. How could you marry your enemy? You say you need him so you can benefit off of him to put into your household. But these are also the same women that are saying, well, we have our own money now. We have our own status now. We have our own power now. But you are not using that to put back into your house. You are using that to keep for yourself. You are selfish. Yeah, that's right. You're selfish because you would take from that man and take your money and go put it up.
I mean, well, that's a lot of women then. Um, I think most women inherently feel as though that it is a man's job to financially support them. I don't think that is something that is, you know, just a black woman thing. Well, let's carry on.
The difference between the women back then that were working that you want to talk about, because we've been working, we've been holding it down. The difference is that the money was going back into the household. It was being combined with the man's money to lead a force front, not go against your household to break it apart. That's why they are leaving, because you become disloyal. These are the same women that say stupid stuff like I agree to disagree, but also say things like I want a man to lead me, but also be the same woman that say, no, but I got this, get out the way. Does it make any sense? Not to me. Hmm. You want to say, well, oh, well, give us
Well, again, I think that every woman, is responsible for her own well-being, and to just place your well-being into someone else's hand, it's a very hard thing. It's a very hard thing to do. So, I don't think that is wrong on a woman's end to actually, be weary or scrutinize someone in which they are putting in charge of their well-being. Let's carry on.
something to submit to, baby, give them something to protect. But you have to be able to listen. And listen does not mean control. Where'd that come from? Who came up with that? Who said, I want to control you? That never came out of their mouth. They said, you won't listen to me. What does that look like? You're not hearing me. You don't want to see. You're being naive. I said, follow me. That let me control you. You don't want to be open minded. But these are also the same women that's not taking accountability, making assumptions, and then coming up with their own false reality so they could have a reason to justify the behaviors that they are putting out to disrespect these men. Baby, black women might as well be the new KKK with fat booty lace front wigs and manicured nails. Why do I say that? Hmm? Because you are still supporting the opposing team if you are against our men. If you can find a reason to argue with me for protecting our men, you tell me how you are not the op. Nobody told you not to be strong. You're just being strong for the wrong people. Nobody told you not to have a voice. You're just using it against the wrong person. Yes, be strong. Yes, be passionate, but for your people, not against our own men. What part?
All right, so let me stop right there real quick. Because, I try to look at these things with an open mind. I try not to be biased, right? But here's the thing. Um, there are a lot of men who have flawed behaviors. There are a lot of men who are violent. There are a lot of men who are um, manipulators, right? That aren't ambitious, that don't believe in providing. So, again, I cannot see that a woman wanting to make sure that her counterpart, um, you know, is doing what he has to do, and that have the the benefit of both parties involved, not just himself. So again, I don't think that that's just a black woman's issue. I think that every woman is going to responsible for making sure that she's okay.
If we lose our king, game over. You have power, but you're using it for the wrong thing. They're giving us the rope to hang ourselves, giving us government assistance and money, anything to make us feel powerful, telling us to pretty much forget everything they do for us, telling us that he doesn't matter, telling us that we are more important than our men. And you take the bait. You take the bait. You do.
I think that we
And then
both
after
are
you take the
equally
bait,
important.
you do the dirty work. You start feeling yourself. Instead of taking that money that you're available to make to combine it, you're keeping it to yourself. Instead of uplifting that black man, you are talking down to that black man. Yeah. You want that man to protect you. You want that man to love you, but you won't be loyal to him. You won't respect him. You want to yell at him. You want to call him out his name. You don't want to learn from him. You don't want to hear him. You want to talk about all the things, the hardship that we women went through. Well, in the past, we were in the house and we were doing this and we were working. They was outside working too. When we was only getting paid this much, it was going right back into the house. They was working to put into the house. We've been working, but who are we working for? That's the question.
Well, I'm gonna stop right there real quick because again, I think that we all are a damaged people in some form or another, right? We all deal with childhood traumas. We all deal with generational traumas. So I don't think that you know our women are in survival mode. A lot of these sisters are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, it's like your morality can be screwed. Your morality can be in the wrong place when you're in survival mode. For example, if you're in survival mode and your kids, let's say you're in the house and your kids don't have anything to eat, right? Let's say it's Armageddon outside. People are looting and stealing and things of that nature. Are you going to make sure your kids eat? Or would you be willing to loot? So I think that it's a morality thing based on survival. And when you're in survival mode, it's like you can your morality can be in the wrong place. But let's carry on.
There were so many things that was brought up that it just bothers me. You want to talk about child support? That's a scam and a hustle. You know damn well them kids don't see that money. These are also the same women that's pretty much saying that we don't need black men, but you're asking for his money. No, these are also women that purposely get pregnant or had control over getting pregnant and then decided, well, I want to slave the black man to me. So no matter how far he gets, he still owes me money. The government tells you he owes you money. But if you really cared about that man, spending time with his children, loving his children, putting it to his children, you would make the government, you would beg the government to make him pay time and not money. But it's because you are benefiting off that money, which is why you are pushing so hard for it. Your closet is full of clothes. You have so many different items, accessories, cars. But the child's closet is empty. The child is hungry. The child has needs. You have yet to see that child have a better education, live in a better neighborhood. I want to see that child benefit, not you. But you're living off the black man's money. So which is it? Are you for us or are you against us?
I mean, that was pretty deep. Um, I mean, I think that in order for the woman to basically take care of her kids, she does need financial support. I mean, unless you're going to go give a 1 year old child $1,000 a month, put it in their hand and expect them to spend it. Um, I think a lot of sisters, women can do better with the money with child support. I think that a lot of women can do better with not letting it get to the point to where the child is in a separate home. I think that people have gotten so used to broken homes now that it's the norm. No one is fighting to keep their family together. It's so easy to, go on to the next person. And I think that, this co-parenting idea that we have is toxic. Co-parenting should be the last result. It shouldn't be something that is prided upon in which we do in today's society. We advocate for co-parenting like it's a beautiful thing. We applaud co-parenting. I think we should start to applaud people staying together, people who have children together, because that is like the ultimate life-changing decision, the person that you choose to have a child by. So if you're not, trying to, work it out with that person, trying to work out your differences, it's just it's funny to me how we can lay down and have kids with one another, and after that child has came into the world, we can't get along now. We shouldn't be together now. Well, I wish we would have came up with that before we had a child together. But that's just the way of the world now.
Because it's really starting to look like you want a debt relief program and a sponsorship. You want to use the black man, but you do not want to support or protect the black man, but you want him to support and protect you. The black man is not against us. He is protecting himself from a bunch of snakes. Because the moment we feel emotions of you're not doing enough of what I say, you're not doing enough of what I want, I'm going to be disloyal to you. I'm going to sell you out to them. I'm going to call them to come get you, to enslave you even more. to make your life even harder and not realizing that I am putting myself in the hole to fall down with you. Because at the end of the day, the white man is not our king, the black man is. If the black man fails, we fail too. We are a reflection of our king. We are a reflection of them, and they are a reflection of us. So why are we going against our own household? Why are we going against our own men? If you can find a way to argue with me for protecting our black men, if you could find a way to feel some kind of way because I love our black men, if you are so stuck on yourself, on what I got and what I need, all I'm hearing out your mouth is I. But you love the black man. No, you don't. You want to use the black man. You say he wants you to be a white woman. No, he don't. He wants you to understand him. He wants you to listen to him. He wants you to respect him so he can honor, respect, support, and love you. You want to talk about femininity? How can you do that trying to be the head? It feels too good to have that kind of power, but you were never meant to be in that position. Use your power for where you're supposed to stand from. You really think these men gonna talk business with you? You ain't got no woman president yet. Baby, we will be left in the dark. So use where we are supposed to stand to our best of our ability to make a difference. Women are not meant to be the head. Accept that. Respect that. Because there's a lot of power in that too. The man might be the loud voice, but the woman is the whisper that makes the difference. Know your spot. Uphold it. If that doesn't answer you, if you still feel like you want to argue with me, then you are not for the black people. You are the op. You are the problem. You are the failure.
Ooh, I mean, I mean, man, I mean, it is a lot of, power, um, disputes within the household. And I think that due to the fact of feminism, a lot of women, um, are overworked. A lot of women are at a place in where they have to compete. And, when you're in a competitive, atmosphere, it's like from a woman's standpoint, I think a lot of women do become masculine, um, you know, in that dynamic. But that's just my take on it. Let's move on along because I do got another great, great video. Um, I'm trying to make sure that I mind what I say on these platforms. So yeah, I don't wanna I don't want nobody mad at me. Anyway, let's move on.
There is no reason for a man to behave like a gentleman with a prostitute. That's kind of the whole selling point. That would be ridiculous at best and wasteful and dangerous at worst. So that's the answer to the question that began this series. Where are all the gentlemen? They disappeared when the lady went extinct. And it wasn't men who killed her. Women have proudly fought tooth and nail to escape the social restrictions that define that identity over the past 60 years. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that modern women want the best of both worlds. They want the social freedom of the prostitute and the respectability of the lady.
All right. So before we go any further, guys, I do want you guys to know that you can join me at Legacy Arcade to afford the opportunity to win instant cash. It is 100% instant and it is free to join. Just scan the QR code below. And yeah, make sure you go through this link because you will get extra benefits and perks. So let's carry on with the video. And
that just
go on.
doesn't make sense. Like, one person can't be both a lady and a prostitute at the same time. If these designations are to have any meaning whatsoever, they need to be grounded in objective phenomena. And while it's always kind of easy for a lady to become a prostitute, it's very, very difficult for a prostitute to become a lady. It is possible, like the Empress Wu, who started out as a concubine in Chinese history, but it is much more difficult than the opposite. So let's be real. The standard template for women's behavior in the sexual marketplace today is to engage in casual sex without commitment through their 20s and then settle down into marriage around 30. That is, they want to enjoy the social freedom of a prostitute for 10 to 15 years, and then they want the respectability of a lady for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, that doesn't make sense to men. In fact, this is exacerbated even further by recent dating trends. The rise of soft life girls and women who say reject coffee dates and expect greater effort from men drive this point home. These women do not complain that men are expecting sex without marriage. They complain that men are being stingy with their resources. Does this sound like a lady who is upset she is being treated like a prostitute?
I mean, there's a lot of women out nowadays that prioritize the resources over commitment, over actually getting to know a guy. Nowadays, you can't just, take a woman out and sit in the park and gaze in her eyes and talk about yourself, and she talk about herself and her dreams and aspirations, and you talk about your dreams and aspirations. It's like, nah, where you going at and how much you're spending. How much money do you got? What type of career you got? What type of job you got? And I think that you know is causing a lot of guys to be turned off with the dating market. I think that directly correlates with the decline in marriages, and I think that directly correlates with the decline in childbearing, because a lot of guys are not going to sign themselves up to someone who only sees them for their resources. Like, if you only valuing me for what I can give you, then you don't care anything about me. You only care about what I have to offer. So why would I put myself in a marriage or, put myself in a situation to have children with you when you're just going to, you know, 9 times out of 10 end the relationship, and I'll be stuck having to give you money for the next 18 years of my life. I think that's a major turnoff for a lot of guys. And a lot of women do have that mindset. So, I mean, and my question is that the mindset of a prostitute? I don't know. I would love to hear what y'all have to say in the comments. But is that the mindset of a prostitute? If you want resources and money for your time, for your attention, and for your love, I think that is self-explanatory. But let's carry on.
Or like a prostitute who is clamoring for a raise? Let's do some math. Dinner for two at a high-end restaurant, $200. Taxis there and back, $60. After dinner drinks, $80. That comes to around $350 out of pocket. So when women today insist that they only consent to dates where they are wined and dined, they think they are communicating that they are high-value ladies who know their worth, when in reality, they are advertising that their sexual opportunity costs $350, which is actually on the low end when it comes to escorts in most major Western cities. On some level, this makes these women both unsuccessful ladies and unsuccessful prostitutes. They're unsuccessful ladies because a lady would not transact her sexual opportunity outside of commitment, and they're unsuccessful prostitutes because, well, the successful ones charge more.
Wow. So he's saying that your sexual opportunity is tied to if you're going to make yourself available to a man. And if you making yourself available to a man consist of you going to an expensive restaurant, going out on expensive dates, or what he has to buy you and offer you, then that is a prostitute mindset. And he's saying that you would be uh the lowest grade of a prostitute, because the real prostitutes actually get paid more. They get paid thousands, three, four, $2, $3,000 a night. So man, that's pretty deep.
And that's where we are in today's day and age. A lady is a woman with a relatively low body count, which means that she's only transacted her sexual opportunity outside of commitment a few times, who expects greater upfront resource expenditure in the courtship process. And I think it's fair to say that this is so far from the original definition of the word lady that we probably shouldn't keep using it, though the residual connotations are certainly beneficial to the women who have appropriated it. And this isn't likely to change anytime soon. Why? Because a woman who tries to put sex on the other side of commitment today is going to be priced out of the sexual marketplace, especially if she is not a young virgin. This is because she'd be making her sexual opportunities significantly more expensive relative to her intrasexual competition. And people, men and women, don't pay more than they need to for any given good. So such a woman would frankly have to be so extraordinary in so many other respects that such a strategy would be inaccessible to most women by definition. And besides, women have shown no indication that they want to go back to the way things were. The general feeling here is that women should be able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want, with whomever they want, etc. The general understanding is that marriage is a convention that was based on patriarchal repression of women. They didn't get anything good out of that, being ladies. And any convention that restricts modern women's permissiveness is going to be perceived as controlling and repressive. And it's like, fair enough. I also love my freedom a lot. So I can understand why women would be loath to dispense with theirs. Nor am I arguing to go back to the way things were. They can't. The genie does not go back into the bottle. What I am arguing is that we all see reality as clearly as possible and make decisions in light of that vision.
Wow. So my question to you all um, is there a fix to this? Is there a fix to this mindset? Um, who is the problem? Is it men are not trying to step up to the women's demands and what they want? Um, or are the women demands a little unrealistic or too high? It's the world we living in right now is chaotic. We had well, I think it's we had a what 50%, 55% divorce rate in the US. 70% of those divorces are initiated by the women. Um, the marriage is on a decline. The childbearing is on a decline. We're at a huge milestone in history in which some changes have to be made, and the people are going to have to do it themselves. We can expect the government to do it. We have to take accountability on ourselves to figure out how we're going to bring the family dynamic back. So with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna sign out this video, and I hope you guys understand that first and foremost, the young lady was not AI. And yeah, leave a comment below and let me know what you think. And I'll see you guys on the next live.